Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Let's create something great together.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't know about so, but because like home for you, did they do it themselves or did they have you do it?
The first time I did it, the second time, no, I did both. But the second time, the lady was mean and she wanted me to stick it. She said I didn't put it up enough because the guy, he told me to just go in circular motion. She told me, no, stick it up farther and twist it. And I was like, okay. So I was like, she's like, no, farther. So the second time did hurt just a touch, but by the time it started hurting, I was done.
Yeah. See, by the time it got there,
yourself.
You know what?
So she was like, no, you gotta violate yourself.
Right. She was like mad too. She was like, no, go in farther. She's like, when you go to the second nostril, you're gonna go farther in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because by the time I got to here somewhere, I don't know where I was, but that thing, and I started to turn, my eyes started tearing up, and that sneeze receptor was about to go, and I was like, man, I can't do this. And I was trying to hold on. I was like, man, nah.
It definitely triggers whatever you got going on.
3, 2, 1.
You are now about to enter the hottest podcast on the planet.
It's your boy DJ Superman.
It's your girl So.
Peace, it's ya.
What's up? It's your boy Scooby.
Now get ready. You just entered the Tough Talk podcast with the Tough Talk crew.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We are back with the Tough Talk podcast, the Tough Talk crew. This is going to be an interesting episode, but before we get into all of that, I just want to introduce the crew. We have So here.
Yay.
Next, we have Ya in the building.
Peace, power, love, divine prophecy, let's get.
That's right. Scoob is taking this one out. Unfortunately, our brother is going through the coronavirus himself. So y'all keep him in his prayers. Keep him in your prayers. It's not that bad for him right now, but he is just having the trouble breathing, things like that. So he is going through the process of it all. I did take my test since we are roommates. I did come out negative, but things can change, so we just gotta be careful. And of course, you have me, DJ Superman, at the helm, and let's go ahead and get in this thing. So anything before we just jump right in, happened this week for anybody? Interesting, not interesting, something crazy?
Well, I celebrated my 3-year anniversary at Soul Food ATL on Tuesday.
Right.
Yay.
Pretty cool. A lot of great talent in the building. Had fun. I surprised everybody who was like part of the team from day one to now. They got like shirts with the logo, and then all the artists that performed, they got a face mask. Of course, we all have to wear masks, so it has another Soul Food ATL logo on there. So everybody was surprised, and we had some good times. And we had a proposal. One artist, like, he was just dancing and singing, and next thing I know, he like slid on his knee to the girl. I was like,
what?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
If you look on the page, Soul Food ATL, you'll actually see the clip of that. I didn't get his performance. I got that instead.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited for them. God's blessings to them.
If they need a DJ, just throwing it out there.
Right.
Same. I travel.
Right.
Shoot.
You said proposal, and I just needed to hear the rest of that.
It wasn't to me, but
Right. But essentially, yes, because you are the heart of soul food. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that essentially is appreciation.
yeah,
Because like he's probably married to his music, right?
right.
But we all need a home to take our wife, so that's a place he can bring his music. So like that's bigger than you could think. I mean, of course, like 3 years, like you say from the start, yeah, I'm gonna be appreciative. Like that's comfort, that's safe space. We all need that.
Yeah, good way to look at it. True,
Yeah. That's what's up. Shoot. I know I ain't really have anything going on this week, to be honest with you. If I really, really think about it. Nah. Now, my highlight was having that test. That was, man, look, I don't know. If y'all been listening, you already know So been through it. I don't think y'all been through it just yet. But as far in regards to, well, So had it. I had tested. Scoob had it, or has it. As far as the test go, man, look, that junk. I don't know how some of y'all do it, man. Like there has to be a better way to do this test because that thing is like rough. It's really rough. Like as soon as that thing go up in there, you got to hit that twist motion. Man. I'm talking about I was crying. Like I was like it was bad. Like
That sounds like an involuntary reaction, though. Like you're
is.
gonna cry if something is pushing up on everything connected to your tear ducts. Like I don't know how you could not cry.
Yeah. Like
it's like it burned more, and then like you felt like a sneeze was coming, and then I think the second time I might have coughed, but yeah.
See, I know what it is. They need to give us like a little tiny capsule of lube. Let us stick the Q-tip thingy with the lube so that way it can go up better, you know what I'm saying, without all that roughness of the, you know what I'm saying? I think that's how we gonna be able to fix this.
I think you just made it more sound.
I was gonna say I don't know what you're saying.
I'm just saying. Like it would be easier to go on the nose. You just have like a little dip of Astroglide or something, just like bloop, and then just zoop, and then you bam, there you go. Twist.
Oh my god.
Other nostril twist, done. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I think like what's crazy. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I didn't even the last time I got tested for the flu, I was probably like 13, and they stuck this arm inch tube up my nose, and I just remember it being horrific. And I can't do that. Not voluntarily.
Yeah. I thought that too, but I did it. I don't know. It was just, I guess, I don't know. Cause I for the longest, I didn't want to do it either. Like I had all these bad thoughts about it from hearing different people tell their story. But when my butt got sick and I wanted to know for sure what was going on, I was like, okay, stick it right on in there. And then when I wanted to know that it was gone, I went back and did it again. So I don't know. It's probably just like once you get into that situation, like a mind over matter thing.
Yeah.
Because you just want to know at that point. And, you know, it's really, I mean, I heard there's a test where they test your saliva, but I heard it's not as accurate as the nostril one too. So I didn't even waste my time trying to find it. I wanted to know. Like I even had thought about going back the next day to do another one. Just to make sure when they said negative, that it was negative.
Right.
Like, I make sure.
And there are some rare cases where it is showing up a negative result, but the person still has it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that too. So it's,
I feel like in those situations, you kind of just have to respond as if you do have it. I feel like if we stay ready, we won't have to maybe take the time to get ready. Because that is one of those processes. Like you do have to keep checking. And if we continue to do the things that are helping us or protecting us, then I think that's something we just have to make a part of our everyday life. As far as immune support and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and transition because we have a guest that's coming onto the show. But I'm gonna just read a little bit about this man real quick. This young man, this strappingly handsome young fellow, goes by the name of Paul Davis from the Columbia Record Pool. I got his bio right here, so I'm gonna try to get through this because he has a very good bio. So starting out, it says Paul Davis' first encounter with the industry was as an artist, a connoisseur, when he joined the school band in the 6th grade as a trombone player. His second close encounter with the industry came the following summer when he purchased his first piece of music, which was Funkadelic Maggot Brain. This changed the way he heard music forever. His scholastics on the school band ended after 5 years, but it taught him the basics, fundamentals of compositions. Armed with formal musical training and a hunger for more of the complex compositions he discovered with Funkadelic, he embarked on a mission as an avid record collector. This led him to comprising one of the leading vinyl collections in the country. His penchant for music led to numerous endeavors with Busted Records, MC Hammer's label, and Capitol Records, resulting with Mr. Davis receiving his first plaque for his promotional contributions to the multi-platinum album Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em. In 1986, while attending the University of South Carolina as a history major, Mr. Davis became an on-air personality at WUSC, then ranked top 10 in the nation. He hosted a specialty show titled The Funkmobile that soon became the #1 rated show at the station for an unprecedented 4 years. During his tenure at WUSC, Mr. Davis hosted a variety of specialty shows that consisted of jazz, reggae, folk, classical, rock, funk, new age, and hip hop. While attending the University of South Carolina in 1992, Mr. Davis took a post as director of South Carolina Record Pool, where he transformed a loose aggression of disc jockeys into one of the most influential record-breaking organizations in the Southeast. As director of South Carolina Record Pool, Mr. Davis quickly expanded the range, duties, responsibilities, and services of SCRP to include street marketing, event planning, radio promotions, and various genres of lifestyle marketing. Shortly after taking this post at SCRP, Mr. Davis was contacted by James Alexander of the Barcades, then National Director of Promotions at Select O Hits. Mr. Davis accepted the post as Select O Hits field marketing rep for the Carolinas while still holding his post as director of the SCRP. As field marketing rep for Select O Hits, Mr. Davis reported directly to Mr. Alexander. As field marketing rep, Mr. Davis was responsible for introducing artists such as 8Ball and MJG, 3-6 Mafia, Al Capone and Endo G, Lil Blunt to the South Carolina market. Within weeks, Mr. Davis was also contacted and contracted Belmont Records, Stax Records' former CEO and industry legend Al Bell's new label, as field marketing rep for Belmont Records, as Mr. Davis was responsible for introducing Tag Team, there it is, and the A-Town players to the South Carolina market. During his tenure as director of South Carolina's Record Pool, Mr. Davis boasted an impressive client list that includes some of the top artists in the industry, some of which are Uptown Records, Lost Boys, Slip and Slides, Trick Daddy Dollars, Pure Pain Records, Camouflage, Rap-A-Lot Records, Scarface, Do or Die, Tella, Fifth Ward Boys, Devin the Dude, Ghetto Boys, Big Mike, Interscope, Dr. Dre, Eve, TBT, The East Sides, Breakdown Records, Lil Kiki, A&M Records, Barry White, Alexander O'Neal, Intelligent Hoodlum, Rap Treasure, Perspective Records, Mint Condition, Low Key, Regine, Virgin Records, Janet Jackson, Gangstar, Lenny Kravitz, Warner Brothers, Jaheim, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah, Something for the People, Eric Benet, Major Figures, Tevin Campbell, Chino XL, Terry Dexter, Immature, J Records, Jimmy Chozer, Mario, Deborah Cox, Busta Rhymes, Next, Tyrese, Angie Stone, Luther Vandross, RL, Alicia Keys, Monica, and the list goes on. Throughout Mr. Davis' career, he has hosted meet and greets and held conferences that were attended by artists such as Queen Latifah, Jazzy Faye, Jaheim, LL Cool J, James Alexander, Nappy Roots, Archie, Jim Crow, Mr. Collie Park, South Boy, Granddaddy South, Devane Stevens, Kieran, Red Eyes, Blue, Da Vinci, Felton. Oh, this list is long, man. You know, everybody. Let me just jump on there. In 2003, Mr. Davis launched Columbia Record Pool, a multi-face music marketing company designed to provide services for different entities of the music and entertainment industry. Mr. Davis brings the attitude from his days at WUSC to Columbia Record Pool, giving himself a mandate to educate the public to new music. Operating under the old age, we don't play hits, we make them. Columbia Record Pool hosts a quarterly conference that allows the different entities of the industry in the Carolinas to network on a national level. And Columbia Record Pool is proud home of the South Carolina DJ Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mr. Paul Davis.
Yes, what an extensive resume.
You gotta get the audio on mute and we are good to go, sir.
For me,
get
it is. There you go. Welcome.
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
Royal Goody.
I'm hanging, man. How are you?
Good, we're good. You know, we just one down, but you know, we're still holding strong.
Good, man.
But you know,
glad to be here.
yes, sir.
Can you guys see me well?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I see those good plaques back there too.
Right.
I figure I flex like everybody else do, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I just sit you.
Ain't no cap on yours though.
Right, earn that.
I just sit you on the couch, you know, take it in this, you know, this what is a wet Sunday afternoon, you know.
Yes, that good sleeping weather.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to speaking with you guys, man. I'm very interested in you guys' platform, you know.
Thank you. And also just speaking on the Columbia Record Pool, I don't know if you remember, but when I first met you I believe it was either 05 or 06 when I first came down to Columbia, because I was trying to figure out a way to get more records, because this is in the transition period from going to records to CDs to, you know, Serato, and God directed me to you, and then I went down, and that was also coincidentally the same day that DJ Aries was there recruiting for DJs as well.
Crazy, ain't it? Yeah, but and you know, glad and to me to hear stories like that with people because they make connections, you know, that's what it's about for me, you know. To actually provide a platform, like I say, to actually do what it says, networking that leads to other things with other individuals, you know, and long lasting relationships and things of that nature.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
I'm admired the vinyl in your background, man.
Oh, well, I wish this was the real vinyl collection, but this is just digital. That's all that is. But I do have, you know, some of the records and stuff that I got from back then. You know, I still got, you know, stuff. You know.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I see that crime on back there.
You already know. Look, when I said, when they had that vinyl event that they was talking about in Atlanta, look, I'm telling you, when I come, like, it's gonna be something serious.
Yes.
I was just thinking about that. I definitely would love to do a vinyl party.
Without a doubt. Who else on the call?
What's that?
So,
Who's on the chat right now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I hit the mic.
We have So.
Hi there.
Hey, So.
Hey there.
And then we have Ya also.
Peace, I see.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. So, Mr. Davis, are you on Clubhouse by chance?
Excuse me, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I can be though.
Yeah, you got to get on there. You have an iPhone?
I will.
Yes. I would love to have you in the room. Because I was in the room the other day with my mentor, TJ's DJs, and we were talking about the 95 South records, the Won't There It Is, that whole movement and that era. Like, we just talk about a lot of stuff. But when I heard your resume, I'm like, man, he should have been on the call the other day. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing to be in the room with so many like legends. I call them, I respect everybody as a legend. Just dropping gems and giving a lot of, you know, good feedback to these young artists to teach them.
Right.
Like you said, networking and building relationships, like that's everything. And a lot of them don't understand that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's nothing like face to face. I always tell it. One thing I tell the artists, I said, you know, go to the market and visit, you know, see the DJs. You know, I tell them it's always, you know, it's always good for the DJs to be able to put a face with the record, you know, but also to be able to put a personality with the record, you know?
Facts.
That's so,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I've actually heard DJs say, "Hey man, I'm gonna play it. I mess with him, and I'm gonna play his record, you know, because he's a good dude, you know."
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Something that simple. All right. So y'all ready to go ahead and jump in this topic?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I apologize ahead of time. So, all right. So, topic for today is racism and stereotypes. Now, obviously, there is a big stigma with this topic. So, this is where we're going to go into this. We're going to break it down into 3 different phases. So, we're going to break it down to, basically, at face value, what, racism and stereotypes is. And then we're going to ask the question, okay, does it still have a place in comedy? Because that's been a real funny area, especially in the past couple of years. And then we're going to end off with, different phrases that you may not know are racist or stereotypical. Just there's a lot. And a lot of people just say them and don't even think about where the origins are. And it's crazy. But first, what is considered racist or stereotype? So the Webster's definition of racism is a belief that a race is fundamental determinant of human traits and capabilities, that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race, or to A, the systematic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, or political advantage of another, or to B, a political or social system founded on racism and designed to exclude its principles. Now, as far as the stereotype, I'm gonna jump down to the noun 2, where it basically says something conforming to a fixed or generalized pattern, especially a standardized mental picture that is held in common by members of a group that represents an oversimplified opinion, prejudice, attitude, or uncritical judgment. So I think we can agree that those are the definitions of that. Now, going into the topic. Now, I think we can find that there are obviously offensive things around the subject, but can there also be truth? So if I were to say black men are lazy, obviously there's an argument to that, because us as black men, we know, hey, we're not lazy, we're hard workers, we support our families, and all that and above. But then if I were to say, black men like watermelon, I mean, some black people do like watermelon, but is it depending on who it's coming from, or just a generalized statement that it shouldn't be said?
I think you have to say what you mean and mean what you say. But I think specificities are definitely important, because people can't make assumptions. Well, they can, but what does that help if it matters for us to communicate openly? And I think people tiptoe around things sometimes, and that oftentimes is why we end up having these communication issues, is because we're not being direct. So I just think you have to actually mean what you say, because the response that you get is coming from what you said. So I feel like when we speak from a place of fact, that's cool. But oftentimes people put their opinions into things, and you get stuck at the opinion and don't, delve into what you really mean and where that comes from. So I think it really just depends on like your intention behind what you say, and like how much energy you put into it, and if you keep that same energy like after you say it about what you said,
So the first part of the statement being the opinion, I would say, and then the second part being the fact. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like
You should always lead with facts.
Yeah. I see your mind running, so I know you want to say something.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Nope.
Okay. Ms. Davis, anything just yet before I go forward?
Oh, well, wow. Yeah, I like what the young lady said. One thing she said she mentioned on the subject. She said that so many people tiptoe around the subject. So that's why things become misinterpreted. And just like the whole with me, like I say, I'm probably a little older than you guys. I'm like a product of the 70s. So I've actually, you know, so you have to be there to know. I've actually, you know, experienced and seen firsthand, you know, hardcore Southern racism. You know, I witnessed the stereotypes, you know, from everything from, you know, from way back from, you know, from whites only water fountains and whites only waiting rooms to, you know, to Ku Klux Klan parading, you know, down Main Street and things of that nature, you know. And just like you say, well, one thing I see right now, I'm so glad what you young people are doing. You know, the young ladies, to me, these days, the young ladies are much more direct, you know, and much more important to, you know, than a lot of young African American males. And me, and I don't mean to get off this subject, but you know, to me, being a African American man, a black man, you know, I had to. It's my you know, it's my responsibility to hold other, you know, other black males or men, you know, accountable. But, you know, and like I said, so I try to be direct and not tiptoe. And like I said, once again, I'm just everybody trying to be, whether it's politically correct or, you know, these particular things. And you know, and so many people I see so many people these days they get to speak on with the different platforms, and they come with the and it's unapologetically this and unapologetically that, right? But in all actuality, the platforms that they're speaking from is apologetic, you know. You with me? So it's just really crazy. Nobody's really direct. Nobody don't actually say what it really is, you know. Like I said, I'll let you go with more questions before I get to get like really crazy. Like say this the name of this podcast is Tough Talk, right?
Right, that's it.
So trust me, I have tough talk. But anyway, when you one of the definitions that you read for racism was, I think, was the one person oppressing another person, one group oppressing another group, you know, for their own gains, whatever you know, and like so it says, you know, with that definition, you know, it's like, you know, black people can't be African Americans can't be racist. I mean, you know, because they don't have the power to oppress anybody. You know,
right?
They don't have the power to oppress another group. Anyway, we continue. Okay.
No. You're right. You're right though. But I did want to. I didn't want to touch back. Excuse me. Hold on, clear my throat.
It's a crazy world, brother.
It is. I did just want to touch on the unapologetically response part, because it seems that we're now in a time where people feel that, okay, just because it's an unapologetic response, that it's right. Now, can someone be wrong in their being unapologetically, you know, response, or is it just their free will to say whatever they want to say? Like, because a lot of people feel that, well, it's free country, it's the internet, whatever. I'm gonna say whatever I want because I can or whatever. You know, is there some dangers around that, or is it just, well, they're free to speak their mind? You know.
Nah, it's definitely dangerous in that. I mean, this is a tough topic because honestly, I feel like we as Black people, like, we do it to ourselves too, instead of uniting. And an example of a current event, you know, you got the whole T.I. Tiny thing going on about the lady saying that, you know, they drugged her, whatever the case. Like, I don't want to go too deep into it, but like, even with that, like, that's her freedom of speech or whatever, right? But it could get them in so much trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for me, it's like, I hate to see that we can't unite better before we go after the others for attacking us, if that makes sense. We say a lot of things that damage us as a community against each other. It was somebody else I was thinking about too that recently spoke out in the media, and it could have tarnished somebody else's career or reputation, but yet it was freedom of speech. You know, they're allowed to do that. Social media, that's the thing now, you know, jump on there and say what you want to say, and, you know, forget whoever's life is going to ruin, just, you know, go speak, you know. And then 45, you know, he was a great example of that, just throwing crap out there that could tarnish so many things, you know, for our freedom, just everything as a country. So I'm just kind of all over the place. So I was like, not yet. But that part, yes, this freedom of speech thing, some of us take it too far. And and then we try to come back with the apologetically or unapologetically or freedom of speech, you know, that's my amendment, but you're still doing damage. So, yeah.
Yeah, I see. Anybody else before I move forward? What you got in your mind, y'all?
It's a tough one, man. It's just so much you can say.
My head started to itch because like I'm jumping back to figure out what not to spend too much time on. But there are different acts of war, and our words can be swords. And so I think that we just have to be mindful of what our intention truly is behind everything that we're saying, why we're saying it, and is that gonna help provide a solution to whatever problem you're speaking on. And I feel like, you know, with those being potential acts of war, you got to think about going to war. You don't go to war by yourself. You know, you go to war with an army. You go to war with those that are like-minded, and you fight for the same cause. So I think it just, there's lots of steps. There's lots of tiers to what simplifies a person or an individual and what actually exemplifies them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's just a true difference between those two, and you just have to figure out where you stand. I feel like sometimes we speak on things that we don't know if we stand on. Like it's a lot of rumor, talking, gossiping. Like people just like to talk now because we have freedom of speech. There's a lot to talk about, and you just have to think about if you just fill in space or if you actually have a point to make. So once you decipher past, you know, the codes and messages and all that other stuff, I guess you'll really get where you are meant to be. But everything ain't for everybody, and everybody can't go to war. So that's where the conflict comes. Is a lot of people don't know they are going to war when they open their mouth.
Right.
So yeah.
Ms. Davis?
Correct. You know, with me, like I say, once again, it's kind of it gets simplified a little. Like you say, like y'all said earlier, also people should speak opinion, but they also should speak fact. You know, and we look at what we're speaking on racism, right? The stereotypes are bad. Stereotypes are awful. You know, it's awful in so many different ways. But when we look at let's say, for example, let's look at the assault on the Capitol. You know, we look at I said the white supremacists. What is the white supremacists? What is their ultimate agenda?
Right.
You know, it's not to attack the Capitol. What is the ultimate agenda? White supremacy is them against other races. It's pretty much, and at the end of the day, they say nobody don't want to say it. At the end of the day, right? And who is their number one? All the eminent white supremacist group, you know, pretty much almost at the core of any racist group, who is their number one target? People that look like me. You know, we are. Nobody says, but when you know, so all the black. I see no black men when the white policemen when they go out there and kill or murder some innocent black men. You know, then the TV cameras come. I don't see any black men from 25 to 55. You know, it should be the women that talking about the crime. It should be you know, black men that saying, you know, what they're gonna do. You know, if you kill my kid, what's gonna happen? I know it. If you know, they talk, and you know, they should be angry. Not and why black people always have to be peaceful. They should. I would be angry. I would open my mouth. I would say, you know, what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear the world down. I'm going to be very if somebody kill my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It should be black men, not women. For the women to be in the back, but you know, hey, it should be 1,000 black men out there. You know, and not just talking about it, ready to back it up. Listen, if my mother was a congressman, and some racist person want to carry a gun, talking that noise, you know what I'm saying? I would say I would appeal with my mom. I would be with my mom. I say, look, put my hands on your mom if you're bad. You know, I want tough talk. This is what I'm saying. You know, everybody's real. You know, like all these people talk. Like all these people talk. Like you said, about 45. He comes out his about to say and says all this. Nobody answers him. They could have been took that man down. You know what I'm saying? Other people and all the Proud Boys. Where are the black men? Watch. Look, I would go around, right? When we have these shootings, I might go out to maybe gather a black man to a barber shop or something. The quickest way to me, I see the quickest way to clean to air out the clean a room of black men, right, is to start talking about not say particular violence, but protecting yourself against whites. They leave. I see black men from 25 years old to 50 years old. Their number one agenda. There's nothing wrong with sports. Their number one agenda is basketball or football. To me, it's like an escape. Like they playing it off. Watching sports don't make you a man.
Yeah.
Because watching football don't make me a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said, protecting my family or whatever. I can't rely on somebody to protect my family, myself, or my people.
That's it.
Tough talk.
No, I agree. And that's
Everybody
why,
like y'all said, everybody tiptoes.
yeah.
I'm not here to tiptoe. If we don't speak up and do that short kind of action, we're gonna quietly go back into slavery.
That's right.
Which amendments? What is it, the 14th, 15th amendment? I think about 3 amendments, 13, 14, 15 amendments. I think we the only group that's legal, that's legally formed group. So at any time these amendments can be repealed, or find unconstitutional by Congress. We're not citizens anymore.
Yeah, just like that.
And when we will quietly follow them like cattle or chattel, we'll follow do what they say, what we're told to do. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like what President Obama said in his book. Basically, he was saying that, if we don't keep progressing forward, we'll find ourselves going right back to where we started if we don't be vigilant on what's going on in the world.
Right.
So,
I completely agree. I hold my brother accountable to I sweep by my own door, see what I'm doing, what am I doing to help advance my people, what am I doing to try to educate and speak with other brothers, about what we could or could not be doing, what we're passing on to our youth,
Right.
I think in some societies, I think that the 10-year-old boys, they're responsible for the 6 and 8-year-old boys, 10 and 12-year-old boys, and so on and so forth. The 14 and 15-year-old boys, they're responsible for the 10 and 12-year-old boys. In some of our past societies, and that and so on and so forth. Not all the madness.
Right.
It's a basic crazy situation. But you get the people with the platforms. They get on BET and they say this and they say once again they come with a bunch of half truth. And they disappear. They're not here. They're not there. They're not out there with the people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want. I don't have to be. I don't want to be embraced because I have the same attitude. Because I have the same attitude and the same persona as John Legend. You got say. Let's say. I don't know. I don't want to get crazy. I don't want to get crazy here. But anyway, like I say, we have to hold our people accountable. But at the same time, we have to, not just say this not lay down to to other people. These people are being aggressive, right? A handful of people are being aggressive. Nobody answers them, and nobody answers them. They don't go check. Nobody checks them. I see, like you say, these Proud Boys. They're doing what I think we should be doing. When somebody kills my kid, somebody murders a young black guy, then we should be going to that person's house, that police chief, the murderer's house. Now you have these racists. They're on the wrong side. They're going to the politician's house and everybody else.
Right.
They're saying what they want to say. They're putting their mouth. Our people are scared. Wow.
It's crazy. Like, we do have black militia groups, but you don't really see anything about them like anywhere really, except like a random like Facebook post or something every now and then.
And like young lady said, like y'all was saying, we should be. I'm not saying organized militant group, but everybody. But to be honest with you, not mean to go there so fast, but they are armed. Everybody's armed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like here, at one point they all popped up at Stone Mountain Park here in Atlanta, in Georgia, but then
there we go.
But then the whole thing happened at the Capitol, and I didn't see anything about them going there. you know,
Mm-hmm.
to Mr. Davis's point, like it seems like, okay, they marched around Stone Mountain because it was word that the Klan was going to meet at the park or whatever that day. So they marched around, you know, got all the footage and stuff. But when the whole thing happened at the Capitol, I didn't see or hear about them forming, you know, and going up there to handle things or to fight, like you said. So I don't know. That's why, and even
and not just the black militia groups. It's everybody, especially anybody that's capable, able to go. So they've been government volunteer. They've been volunteering to help the National Guard. So we'll go because we understand. Like I said, once again, don't dance around because we understand their ultimate agenda is us. That'll quiet it down. They don't want to. Let's say if 50,000 black men would have showed up, that'll quiet it down. It'll change that. That'll change. They talk, and so all I hear all the time is conversation. We need more conversation. We need conversation. We need action. We need real conversation. Yeah. Everybody just everybody got to speak. You got to be all long as you politically correct or whatever, or he's he could speak proper English. You know what I'm saying? He's articulate. So if he's not articulate, it's just right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is that? How hard is that? How hard is it to balance? As old people just say, you can't make right out of wrong. That's why it's so hard for the government to do things, because you can't make right out of wrong, and they're wrong.
Right.
I'm not afraid to say it. It's tough talk.
Well, I'm gonna move forward real quick, and just no, you good. Just to move forward a little bit. Now the next question, because at the end, it basically comes to, even though these are things that are touchy and have terrible pasts of prejudice and things like that, can we learn from each other because of these things? Can we learn about another culture's oppressive background through these things? So that's where it lies in the next question. Does comedy have a place, in racial and stereotypes, as long as it's true? You know what I mean? Like, is there a place where comedy can still be there without it being like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that? You know what I mean?
I think with everything, you definitely have to be comfortable in yourself first. But one thing that is going to continue to keep a lot of our people in stagnation is we have to move past the point of escapism. I feel like a lot of us have assumed the state of escapism in this system being violated from the time that we entered this world. We have had to create something to comfortably exist in, and in that being a temporary fix, there has to still be a long-term, plan and conversation about what we can do moving forward outside of someone else's system. The very first thing you have to be able to do for you and for your family is stand on your square, and claim yourself for who you truly are, and move in that capacity. Like, who you are and you have a nation behind you. But I think so many of us are so busy trying to, study other people and all that other stuff, we are losing more of ourselves. And we can constantly be caned for, truly, if we have no square to stand on. And, at the end of the day, we just have to come up with something past a short-term resolution. So I think the more that we implement that with ourselves and with our families, the better it'll do with, outside in the community. But that just goes to show you that the tactic of taking the head out of the household, you cut the head, the body dead, that tactic itself has been why we're still even here, because it starts with the family. We can't do anything we're not carrying out in our own households, but we have to form our nation, and we have to act like a nation, or else we just out here lone wolves and, figuring it out and feeling some type of way about, ourselves and others that, we're not working with them for X, Y, Z. Like, it's not superficial. Like, it's so much deeper than it seems to be. But, you know, there's a lot of undoing we have to do with ourselves first before, you know, we're even able to get together, because we could get together all day. Let's do it. But you know what happened when we round up a lot of individuals that either don't have home training or respect or, you know, knowledge, anything. I mean, we just together, loud, making a bunch of noise. Like, I know there's a bunch of stores that wouldn't let, when we were children, Family Dollar. We couldn't go in Family Dollar if it was more than 8 of us, you know, because they said we was going to get in there and act up. They can't keep their eyes on all of you. You know, it's a lot you got to get together before you can actually move like synchronized swimmers, which we once did. We once communicated without words. Our language was that of our mind. You know, like everything that was here was ours. So you got to think about it. We just have to evolve, because the way that we have evolved has been somewhat detrimental. So we just have to evolve in a healthier way. But it starts with willingness. You know, you can't nobody sit down and have, you know, no type of heart to heart if they're not willing. You definitely have to have a mutual agreement with a party that's either at your level or above you, you know. But it's just like some people are okay where they're at. So you have to be okay with that, because they got to do what they got to do to stay here, to exist here, to be at peace here. People take their life every day. So there are going to be those that are wanting to escape, and then there's going to be those that want to strategize and build. You know, you can plan your escape all day, but once you get the exit, where are you going? You know, it's not going to mean anything if everything you worked for, you standing out in the open, vulnerable. You know, we're vulnerable to attack right now. That's all that really is. We got to do what we're willing to do and accept that everybody's position does something for where they at. Like, it's a snowball effect. It's a butterfly effect. Like, everything ain't for everybody. So some people are going to get across easier. And unfortunately, like, some people do have to take that L.
Now, I did want to say, in regards to one part you mentioned, in regards to, you know, the tactic of dismantling our household by taking away the head figure, you know, the man of the household. Now, there are so many jokes about Black homes not having a man figure in the home. So why haven't we taken that and said, hey, this is something that they're noticing about us and we need to fix this. Like, we need to figure out how we can keep our men in our homes and keep them out of trouble, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, so we can not have this system going on and on in our community, you know, because some of it is from hurt, some of it is from, you know, prejudice in law enforcement, some of it is from other circumstances. So how can we, like, that one part in regards to how, you know, jokes can affect, you know, something else, why haven't we taken account of that and tried to work it into our own culture to fix that?
We have, actually. I just don't think that there's enough of it, because when you start talking about, you know, feelings and emotions and what happened to even get the head out of the household, a lot of people are not willing to overcome their traumas. You know, and sometimes our traumas are what's holding us back from our growth. You know, we can't progress if, you know, we're still holding on to that mentality. And if you think about it, your first 7 years or so of your life shapes your reality. So if you came up with that mindset, no one intervened to show you anything different, teach you anything different. Like, unless that's something that you really, really want with all of your heart and you're passionate about and you're willing to fight for it, you know, it just becomes a part of your reality, and you shape your adult existence around, you know, whatever your childhood, you know, either your traumas or your passions or your love. Like, there's always something that's significant that happens in those first 7 years, or 12, however many, in adolescence. But, you know, it's just either something that either is going to hurt you really bad and you're going to want to change it, or it hurts you really bad and you become bitter and lived your life trying to make sure you protect yourself from knowing that there's not going to be a good man, or, you know, you convince yourself all of these things because you're like, if I know it, it's not going to hurt me. You know, like you prepare yourself for a negative outcome. So I just think it's our mindsets, like we're attacked psychologically as well. So I just think that you really just have to give yourself an opportunity to meditate, exist for a moment, you know, think about what you're here to do, how you feel about that, like appreciate life for a second. Like sometimes we have to simplify things just in order for us to deal with something really, really serious.
I just want to come up behind that.
I just want to know how old is y'all? She said she'd be such a young lady to have such extensive knowledge. But no, but
I'm 24.
I totally agree. Like you said, you know, we don't want to just be you know, say have a lone wolf out here moving, you know, with no followers, like you said, and people with with no real knowledge of what they're doing and how, you know, and how to actually move, you know. And like you said, it has a lot to do with how people are shaped, but it also has a lot to do with how, you know, say with how, you know, how we continue to be shaped, because of course, you know, so much of it done, so much of it been taken from, so much of it interject into the Black community, you know, to keep us, you know, confused, you know. What's the name? Kathy. So was it? What's the lady? So man, you should know that lady on Radio 1. She was on one of Tavis Smiley's forums once, and she was saying, who found an answer. She was saying all the different things. They was saying all the different things that that white society, was, you know, the powers that be was doing to you know, to the African American community, right? They were doing to them. And she said, well, at the end of the day, she said, they're trying to win. That was, you know, that was the answer. Like she said, so you know, they, like you said, and like y'all said, it's you know, it's amazing that we even exist. So it's so much done to us in so many different forms, and not just the physical, but the psychological also. We still get it so much. I see it. It's like you know, it's like it's running rampant now. But you know, I would say with the movies and the commercials and all, you know, there's so much so much character. I think they call it character assassination of Black men. You know, you know, it's just like it's like, you know, some movies I see, you know, they have three type of Black men. They have you know, they have a gay Black man. They will have a Black man that's just he just weak in whatever aspect. He just have no manly characteristics whatsoever. And then they have the third Black man is he's just the worst sort in the world. He's just the worst human being that you can imagine, you know. And you know, that's what you see. Is so much character assassination going on these days. You know, it's profound. But you mentioned, I think when you mentioned that there's room for, you know, for jokes to include it in a comedy of humor.
Yeah, like is there, can there still be a place for ethnic, racist jokes, stereotypes, but still?
Like I say, I think if people don't want to be just, you know, I don't think people don't want to be bitter. But I think it's, you know, like I said, it's a very fine line. You know, I think you can touch upon certain things, some light things, but I wouldn't say to go deep into it, to actually make fun or light of people's misfortune. No, I don't think there's room for that, for somebody's, you know, somebody's tragedies and different things, you know, especially looking at all the tragedies that we know that we've been subject to, you know. I mean, it's not lightweight. You know, when people speak of the Jewish community, all that happened to the Jews, you know. I think Hitler killed something like 6 million Jews. Everybody takes it very, very serious. When you look at over 100 million, you know, African people died in the slave trade, over 100 million, that makes 6 million seem like a drop in the bucket. And then, but then it continues on until today. I don't think that it's not really a thing to joke about, you know.
And it's crazy how if you really look back into, like, you know, a lot of old Southern songs, and you may know some of them where, you know, they talk about things like gator bait, or, you know, even that the ice cream song, you know, how they, you know, had its you know, racial undertones and stuff like that. Like things like that, yeah, we can get rid of, but, you know, at the same time, like, should it be archived so we know where not to go back to, or should we just get rid of it altogether?
Good question. It should be an archive. I would say archive for people. To show people what people's personalities are. So we can see what some people how people act and how people behave, how people respond, how some people look at so you won't get it twisted. This is how this is how our people looked at. This is what happened. And on both sides. On both sides of the fence. It should be definitely for learning.
Okay. Yeah. So.
We teach
I think it should definitely be archived to be referenced, because I saw this documentary about North Carolina the other day about the parties, the political parties, and how they switched, and how at one point all the Black people were Republican, and how they went out of their way to basically wipe us out, and then how it switched. And so something like that, it has been hidden for so many years. And so like now that it's coming out again, it's like bringing a huge awareness to people, about the political parties, about, these elections and all that stuff is coming back to the forefront, but it had been pushed away so long. And a lot of people don't know their history. So I definitely think it should be archived, and like our history books, like that's where, we dropped the ball too, because when I went to school, our history books didn't have most of this stuff, right? These Confederate memorials, all that good stuff, that was highlighted, that's in the books, and that's what we learned about. And it wasn't until I think my senior year in high school, I took African American Studies, and I just took it because I was done with school and I just had to, have a full day. So I took this class as an elective, but it should have been mandated. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the month of February, it should have been something that kids are learning early on. And so like, even with my son, I ended up homeschooling him. And when he was homeschooled the last few years, like he learned a whole different side of life. It wasn't about pre-algebra and algebra 1, it was like African American studies and how to survive in this country. You're a Black man and this is what you have to do. So I do think that the evil parts, as you quote unquote, should be archived so that these kids can reference it to learn it. But I think that the highlight should also be where they truly came from in the African American side as well.
Okay. Yeah.
That was very well said. I definitely believe in like being able to cite sources. And I do feel like a lot of information has been lost or taken or destroyed over the years. And so I believe that there's an opportunity there, the truth is the truth, and how we respond to it is always going to change. But I do feel like people should be able to be left with an opportunity to make a rational decision, like based on how they feel about what actually happened. The one thing about this country is you can, people say it's the land of the free and home of the brave, and you can be who you want to be when you get here. And the truth about America is you can personate, you can impersonate, you can create, you can hide behind, you can assume all of these roles and positions and it not matter who you truly are, because it's a game. It's a game or a movie or a role or a something. But I do feel like with you having the opportunity to choose between all these things, you should have the truth to stand on, or to refer back to, or to cite, and speaking knowledge to somebody else.
Okay. Before we get too deep, and we're gonna start the road to 100. Did you get a chance to speak on that one, Paul? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely think it should be archived. Just for so many reasons.
Yeah.
I mean.
And so, I didn't want to cut you off.
That means like what the young lady said totally. Yes, it should definitely be archived. So people can reference it.
Okay.
And have a full total understanding. Like y'all say, the truth is the truth. This is what it is.
Okay. Before we get this thing out of here, I just had a few jokes. I just want y'all to let me know if these are over the line or not. You know what I'm saying? These are just a couple that I picked up over the internet, and just let me know what y'all think. All right. So this first one is, an old black man is lying in his deathbed, surrounded by his family. He says, "Gather everybody around. I have some last words." "Okay, Papa, everybody's here." "Are all my brothers and sisters here?" "Yes, Papa, they're all here." "And my children?" "Yes, Papa." "And my grandchildren?" "Yes, Papa, everybody's here." "Then why is the light on in the kitchen?" No, maybe not.
Well,
Because I
I
know
missed the
growing up,
first
we had to
part.
get
Were
every
you
light
telling
off.
a joke?
Yeah, that was the joke.
Okay, that's my bad. I was listening for something else because I missed the very first part of what you said before you started saying it.
Okay, my bad.
But no, we got in trouble for not turning off lights as a child. And so I made it a habit by the time I got older to turn off lights every time, we exit a room. And so it's funny now, even thinking about telling the children to like turn off a light or something like that. I sound like my parents. But I also understand like energy and bills and preventativeness.
Right. All right.
So no, like
I
feel some type of way for laughing at that because it wasn't funny once upon a time, and then now I'm just like, dang, I am what I didn't like as a child.
Right.
So I guess if you dig deep into it, I can see where it could be offensive.
Yeah.
But you gotta dig for it. Yeah. And I mean, honestly,
Hey, Superman.
Yes, sir.
In a comedian, I don't care how popular they are, right? And how popular they are. When they come on stage, right? The first thing they start talking about blacks and white, other ethnicities, right? It's a turn off to me to start with, such great fine comedians. It can be really, very super funny, right? Without having to talk, so many things to talk about besides what, blacks say this, Mexicans say this, If you make fun of your own people, then you're a superstar. You'll become a superstar, right? They're gonna get power to be able to bring you that bag, okay? If you use the N word, they're gonna bring you that bag, You're gonna get that bag, That's what it is. To me, it's just such a profound, I say turn off,
A lot of 90s comedians, not a lot of late 80s and 90s comedians. That is a lot of their material right there,
Right, that's it. Even the George Lopez guy, right? All he does is make fun of Mexicans, right? So they just love him. The person, everybody should be able to make fun of yourself. But they like, these other folks. They love to hear you, put your own people down. And you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Can pat you on the head. You're a very good guy. I want to see a brother like me. I want to see a brother like some brother, brother from the hood, a brother from the swag. So run for president next time. I want to see 50 of them.
Right.
Like, I'm impressed with this guy. I saw a stand-up piece. I think it was from years ago of Cat Williams, and he said that Donald Trump has black people now watching politics, watching like the CNN or whatever, watching politics like they're watching the game. Now to me that's kind of ironic, like you say that now but they shouldn't be watching it. They should have been watching politics. He say like they're watching the game. The game should have been the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Thing to do. That should have been the secondary. Just like I said, things to watch on TV. Okay, but anyway,
Entertainment.
He said that, right? He said now you have black people watching it as if they're watching the game. But anyway, like I said, I see it happen so much, and so then people they sort of opinion here, opinion there, and people just touch upon the situation kind of lightly. I want to ask this question, right? I want to ask you guys, maybe you guys answer me. The Black Panther movie, right? What's the big thing? What was great about the Black Panther movie? That African Americans should embrace it so just lovingly. What was great about it?
from what I understand, because I didn't watch it either, because I kind of had the same question, but from what I gathered, because it was the first time that we did a Marvel movie, is it?
Well, what it was that
Mhm.
in the sense
Right.
of the scale of the movie was that it was a good strong 98% of the cast was all African American, all the way from the director to all the casting. There was like
Okay.
very, very few other white people or whatever you want to say that was in the movie, period. And it was just, in a sense, like the fact that even though it was majority made up, but it was just like a sense of pride because it's like we're being represented in a way on the screen, even though it's slightly fictional. It's still something that we kind of gravitated towards because it was a lot of cultural awareness that was put into the movie that a lot of people may not known about, as well as like the subliminal things that they would do, where there'll be one scene where you would see Chadwick, Koye, and the other girl, but what they had on matched the Pan African flag, and he specifically had them stand in that position to make that kind of stand out in that scene. Like it's little things like that is like was like thrown out throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, that so it was the first time I guess you say a production of that scale was done by all African Americans, right? I'm sure it probably say even for let's say a good little, let's say some good little movie. I don't know if it was a sound. If it was done by all black, a small movie with a cast of all blacks and black producers and black directors and all, even black funded, right? Let's say Superfly. Um, anyway, so it's a movie like Superfly, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and also that Hollywood, and Hollywood gave it credibility. Hollywood embraced it, right? Not to mention because it made a lot of money, right? You know what I'm saying? So therefore, like you said, but of course, like you said, certain things you mentioned like having certain things, clothes that mentioned clothes that match the Pan American flag, or but anyway, like I said, certain you mentioned certain cultural things that people did not know. To me, I saw a lot of they did like a million things from all the like the different African culture, just put it all together. To me,
Yeah.
like telling me the storyline. What isn't that the Lion King? But anyway, just being sarcastic. But anyway, what I saw when I looked at the movie, what I saw, right? I saw blacks killing blacks.
Hmm.
I saw a lot of black killing black. What I saw I saw like one white guy that was engaging on the side of the fight. He was like the best guy in the world. Right? He was like he was like the best guy in the world. But anyway, I seen the guy's cousin. He killed his cousin, right? Once again, character. He was so bad, right? He would be such a terrible human being. It's okay. You follow me? He deserved what he got. He was such to be a terrible human being. It's okay for someone to tell you it's okay, to kill your cousin because he's such a bad guy. That those to me those were the over you saying the dominate, not I guess I say the overtones that I got from the movie. I
Yeah.
just saw a lot of black killing blacks, which wasn't attractive to me. Regardless of who doing it. I was like I say, I'd rather see like a movie like Superfly that replaced The Godfather at the movie, right, at the theater. This is a '70s movie, right? And it was about not about a guy dealing drugs, but a guy that wanted to change his life and not deal drugs. You know. And for one time, and at the end of the movie, he told a man where to go. He beat the man psychologically. He put out his gun. There's a song. Chris Smithfield did a song called "Think." He used his head. He got away. He was able to escape from the powers that be. He escaped the powers that didn't have the deal. And went upside the head also, and rode away and rode away off in the sunset with his lady and rode away.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, and when they had the screenings all across the country, right? The black people leaped to their feet, but they raised their hands in the air because he had said in the movie, Gordon Parks Jr. right, said in the movie, he's a director. He had said in the movie what black people wanted to say all over the country when they was being suppressed on the jobs that they work on and things of that nature.
Yeah.
They want to be able to tell a man to shove it.
Hmm.
It was real simple. Anyway, we had also we had we'll say real fast. We had in the '70s. We had black we later referred to as black exploitation movies. These was movies, right? That you saw a black man win in the end. Okay, if he's going his white society, he didn't take any mess. And you saw a black man win in the end. Now we don't have those at all.
Yeah.
We don't have that at all, you know. Anyway.
Time to get back to that. All right, it's the last thing, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. Now, these are just some phrases that we say day to day that we may not know have racial undertones. Did y'all know that saying the itis has racial undertones?
In what way?
It says here that this phrase directly alludes to the stereotypes of laziness associated with African Americans. According to Mike, it stems from a longer and incredibly offensive version of N-word-itis. Modern vernacular dropped the racial slur, leaving a false scientific diagnosis for the tired feeling you get after eating way too much food, which turned into the itis.
Itis denotes as inflammation when adjoined to a base word. So I don't see how inflammation, that's kind of universal, ain't it?
Well, they're saying it stemmed from N-word-itis, like Igor-itis, but they dropped that part and just left the itis part. See what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I mean, I hear that, but I think that's just a made-up word.
Yeah, could be. All right, what about this one? What about uppity?
Yeah, that was offensive as children. Prissy and uppity was they said it negatively, but the words uppity is more so, racial undertone.
What they're saying here is that the Atlantic reports that during segregation, racist Southerners used uppity to describe Black people who didn't know their place. And socioeconomically speaking, originally the term started with the Black community, but the racists adopted it pretty quickly. Or peanut gallery. What about that one? So that one was, of course, the higher seats in the theater, It's in regards to the section in theaters, usually the cheapest and worst, where many Black people sat during the era of vaudeville. And it's not directly racist, but it's classist and rude at the very least, for what they say. What about jip? Like, you jip me. You know about that one?
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Is jip is a racist word?
Right.
I didn't know jip was racist. You cheat somebody, you rip somebody off a condom.
That's what they're saying. It said jip or gip mostly evolved as a shortened version of gypsy, more correctly known as the Romani, an ethnic group mostly in Europe and America. The Romani typically traveled a lot and made their money by selling goods. Businesses dispute naturally arose, and the masses started thinking of Romani as swindlers. Today, jip has become synonymous with cheating someone.
Oh, wow. I had no idea what the origin of that word was.
Right.
Yeah. Some of these are just like, okay. See, this is where it kind of ties into how, we can also learn from these things, but at the same time, we also learn that it does still hurt somebody as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of that balance. You know what I mean? Where I just found this out. So, okay, that applies to this group. Oh, this group went through that in that history. Okay, now I know maybe I shouldn't use this word. You know what I mean?
The person become a little I guess bougie. They say think they're acting as though they are a member of the bourgeoisie. They are uppity. They act behaving uppity. When poor Black people get a little something, they don't have a whole lot. They're a little better. Then that's kind of funny. Not feeling themselves towards their own people that they're actually in the same boat with. Then they kind of refer to them as uppity. It's kind of crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
It'd be the crabs in the barrel, though, that will throw that term out there. People that don't want you to succeed if it doesn't have anything to do with them. Something else we got to overcome.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the list, but I'm pretty sure that was on a list somewhere. Got something behind it.
Hey, Superman.
Yes, sir.
I see a lot of white folks right these days. They refer to black people. They be saying "bo," and they say it's so prevalent with them these days. They refer to each other as boss. But they you know, I don't know if you maybe back in the day in the '60s, well, they refer to a black guy, a black person as "bo." That was like like a I guess a substitute for boy.
Oh, okay.
Real racist. I don't know all these. I see like they have these "Hey Bo" shirts on and everything. I don't know
Wow.
they always wear those shirts, whatever. But Bo was like a term that that you wouldn't allow a white person to call you because
Uh-oh.
A few minutes later.
I would say to well, if they carry a nigga, I'm gonna carry my piece also, right? I would say yeah. I was thinking if they pull their piece, I'm gonna pull mine. You know what I'm saying? Say it. What's about you say it? I'm not worried about the I think your constituency would embrace you more. If somebody try to shut, I'm not going out like that, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, whether it's in street terms or whatever. I'm gonna say that. Just in straight layman terms, I'm gonna say, somebody put, I gotta watch my own back. Then if 20 or 40 Democrats show up with guns too, then they gonna do something about it. They gonna quiet. They don't want that. They gonna quiet it down. Then. But we packing also. I better if they can invite the Proud Boys in it, I'm gonna show up with 20 people from the hood. I'm gonna show up with some real thugs. I'm gonna bring
Right.
some goons. I'm gonna come with some goons. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's basically how Charlamagne the God said, the best thing a black person can do is to get their right to carry, because it's how do you say it? It's a form of self-care.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
People have so much privileges these days. We have so much privileges, right? We're too comfortable. We have we all the internet and the nice all the plushness that we have in our lives. Nobody wants to lose that. Nobody wants to take a chance. Nobody wants to risk that. Nobody sacrifices.
True.
You know,
I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in, because I'm hoping this recording saved and everything, because my little mishap I just had just now, because I'm gonna cry if it don't, because we had a pretty good show this episode. But just in case, I'm gonna keep everything moving smooth. As if nothing happened, I'll just edit that piece out if something didn't happen. So in regards to next show, let me go ahead and pull that real quick. I know
What? Super remembered on his own?
Right? In times of crisis, I do.
Listen, we slip into the void or something.
Hey, Superman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you guys for letting me be a part of you guys' discussion, man.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, Mr. Davis, it's been an honor. Like just conversing with you and learning about you. I definitely want to follow your stories. You've been definitely somebody to hold another conversation with. So thank you for coming on. We definitely appreciate you.
Get you guys to the fullest, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
On us.
Y'all keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And will there be a conference coming up this way anytime soon, or what's the plans for conference?
Like I said, it's like this is what, man. I'm a coward when it comes to death. I'm ducking and dodging, this pandemic thing, this virus, So we were scheduled to come and do have a meet and greet. We scheduled. We was on the books for last year to come to Cream. So as soon as the smoke clear, we could be in Greenville.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner than later. So I'm looking at maybe hopefully mid to late spring. When things get better. If it don't, I'm on pause until the smoke clears.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm trying to survive by any means necessary.
That's it.
Anyways, I got too many good things to do in my life, man.
That's right. We ain't done yet.
No,
Right.
without a doubt, we ain't done yet, man. So you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, now just once again, I'm just so elated to be a part of you guys' conversation. So proud of what you guys are doing. Because I definitely was wanting to be here for the day. But anyway, I'm look forward to speaking to you guys soon.
Most definitely. And next week we have time investments brought to you by Ya. And we also have another special guest, DJ Premier, hailing all the way from Nigeria. He's a DJ friend of mine that's out there doing some big things on the DJ scene out that way. So it'll be interesting to have his take on what you guys are going to take us into for that day. And last but not least, let me make sure I mention this also. Oh Lord, where'd I put it? Got all my notes all over the place right now. Here we go.
Story of my whole life.
For all those that's looking to start a podcast in the future, in our show notes, just click that link because Buzzsprout has a link that will give you $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, which also helps support our show as well. When you get on there, like just like us, we're everywhere. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on TuneIn, Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You name it, we're probably there. So yeah, if you want to start one, click that link. I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. But if anybody else got anything else to close out with before I go ahead and wrap this up.
Nope, I'll be in Columbus, Georgia this Friday. Another R&B show. I was at one last night too. It was pretty lit. Band was lit. But yeah, I'm on this R&B kick lately. Got an R&B radio show coming soon.
Oh yeah, we definitely in there.
Yes, and I'll be seeing you in a few weeks anyway, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna
Everything
hit
pushes
soul
through. So yeah, that's what I'm on right now. You know, so that's the plug. We out here, we working.
What I anything going on this week? No, I ain't got nothing going on this week. Also, before I go, Mr. Davis, how can they find you on social media?
CR Pool, I guess CR Pool 1 Instagram, and just Paul Davis Facebook, and in about maybe I'll give it 2 weeks. www.columbiarecordpool.com. We just revived the Columbia Record Pool website.
Bet. All right. Sounds good.
It's gonna be a beast. Also, we promote a lot of hot artists. We hear a lot of good music, from all over the United States, really, right? And one of my priority artists is this guy from you guys' area.
Hey, look. Had to represent.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
So we decided to just working,
I had to bring my son up there. I see you got Seti Hendrix on here. He has a song with Seti.
Yeah. Who's your son?
Big Hobby.
Oh, okay, super cool.
Small world.
Send me some stuff. I send you my email address. Send me some music, okay?
Most def.
Most definitely. Get busy out here one time.
Yeah. Oh, why not?
Hey guys, this if you guys get a chance, check this, okay?
The Psychopathic Racial Personality and Other Essays.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I love that.
All right.
Yes.
Now that's a book that I can find anywhere, or
I think you can get copies. You can get copies off Amazon and different places. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna
most of the bookstores can order it.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the bookstores can order it. It's a really good. It's a small paperback, but it's really a really good read.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our time. And again, I hope this thing saves so we can go ahead and put this thing up. But if anything else, y'all be sure to follow us on Instagram, Tough Talk Podcast, YouTube, The Tough Talk Podcast, Facebook, The Tough Talk Podcast. And yeah, just be sure to hit that follow button on wherever you like to listen to us on your favorite app device. And we'll see y'all later.
Much love.
So.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Beautiful family.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Tough Talk Podcast. That's at TUF